Assalamualaikum. My name is Sabarini binti Muhammad and I'm going to present about the definition of capital expenditure. Capital expenditure is money of an organization or corporate entity spends to buy, maintain or improve its fixed assets such as buildings, vehicles, equipment or land. It is considered a capital expenditure when the asset is newly purchased or when the money is used towards extending the useful life of an existing asset, such as repairing the roof. In the case when a capital expenditure constitutes a major financial decision for a company, the expenditure must be formalized decision at an annual shareholders meeting or a special of board of directors. For example, is a building, including the subsequent costs that extend the useful life of the building. Okay, next let's take a look of importance of capital expenditure. How much the company invests in capital expenditure can be vital to the decision making in an organization. They are important because of the following reason. The first one is long-term effect. Effect of capital expenditure decision usually extends into the future. The current decisions on capital expenditure will have a major influence on the future activities of the company. The next one is irreversibility. The capital expenditure can hardly be undone without the company incurring losses or negative effects. Once the capital expenditure decision been made, there is a small chance to reverse the decision since the cost can often not be recovered. Okay, the last important of capital expenditure is high initial cost. The capital expenditure are characteristically very expensive, especially for companies in industries such as production or manufacturing. Okay, next is challenges in capital expenditure decisions. The first one is measurement problems. This is because the process of identifying, measuring, and estimating the cost relating to capital expenditure may be quite complicated. The second challenges in capital expenditure decision is unpredictability. This is because company making capital expenditure decisions are usually characterized by a lot of uncertainty. During financial planning, company need to account for risk to mitigate potential losses, even though it is not possible to eradicate them. The last one of challenges in capital expenditure decision is because temporal spread. This is because the costs as well as the benefits are usually stretched over a relatively long period of time for both industrial projects and infrastructural projects.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurjara binti Ahmad and I will explain about qualitative consideration. So what is qualitative consideration? It is an outcome of certain actions that cannot be measured by number but can be measured subjectively. They are the factors relevant to a decision that are difficult to measure in terms of money. There are several qualitative factors that are need to be considered by management when making capital expenditure decision. And management must interpret the qualitative factor for more comprehensive evaluation and enhance their decision making. So the most common qualitative consideration that management needs to consider are quality of product and service, environmental concern, ethical consideration, company culture, social trends, and political factors. Now, let's move to first consideration factor, which is quality of product and service. Generally, the quality of input placed in capital expenditure will directly impact the quality of output, which are goods and service. The management needs to have balance between performance and price possibility in order to maximize the investment cost efficiency. So these are the example of product and service quality. First, choosing low quality of kitchen equipment will lead to sudden malfunction in a restaurant, which can affect the effectiveness when preparing and serving food to customer. Second, buying the cheapest vehicle for on-site technician, which may result in unexpected service interruption due to vehicle breakdown. The second factor is environmental concern. Consumers and shareholders have high concern in protecting the environment. Thus, the companies need to allocate part of their expenditure in their budget in response to this concern, since they are a threat to support the sustainable existence of the company in the industry who have good steward towards the environment. The management who receive the recognition for environment stewardship will have good reputation and increase consumer awareness. The effect is, the management will be able to retain their existing customers, to attract new customers, and to expand their market wholly while enjoying good return in long run.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hidayah binti Apandi, and I will continue to present about qualitative factors that the management need to consider. So the third qualitative consideration is ethical consideration. The firm needs management to incorporate values in their decision making. It is to enable them to evaluate the impact of all the possible capital investment decisions in relation to their relevant stakeholders. The relevant stakeholders are the firm shareholders, the customer, the employee, and the community that the firm surrounds itself in. The first example is protecting shareholders' interests. When evaluate between several capital investment decisions, the management need to make sure that the one chosen will be beneficial to the growth of the company in the long run. So the second example is employee safety. When consider operating effectively, dealing with the dangerous chemical, the management need to consider several safeguards that need to be implemented in the capital budgeting, such as relevant safety gears and masks. So the next one is customers' health. This normally involves in making sure that the output of the capital investment decision will not be dangerous to customers' health. So the last example is local employment. Restructuring a production facility to automate manufacturing activities will drastically reduce the number of employees. Next qualitative consideration is company culture. Capital investment can have an impact on the way work is performed in an organization. Companies sometimes spend money on capital improvement because they want to create a good work environment for their employees. For instance, provide new office furniture can boost employee morale and result in greater productivity. So managers should understand the effects of the resources could have on company culture, include the things people value, the way people work together, the overall morale, and the employees' motivation to excel. So some corporations excel at providing quality at premium price because they import experienced individuals who take pride in their work. The fifth consideration is social trends. How the views of society will change over time is a key qualitative consideration in capital expenditure decisions. For example, if consumer current social trend is to focus and to care about environment, then the management is advised to manufacture green products over coming years instead of building a factory that causes pollutions. Social trends also influence how many hours workers are willing to work in the future and what kind of job that they are willing to do for a given salary, which also influence the best type of manufacturing facilities. For example, the fabrics that are expected to be trendy 10 years from now must be considered when building a factory to produce garments. The last qualitative consideration is political factors. Political factors could affect capital expenditure decision by deciding how the business should run through enforcing government policies. Political decision could add risk factor and lead to a major losses. For example, the increase or decrease in tax is affected by political decision where the government might increase taxes for some companies and lower it for others. The decision will have a direct effect on how business will operate after a political decision is made. Therefore, managers need to always be updated with the political factors.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Kairunisa Nabila binti Kamim. Today, I would like to present the advantages, disadvantages, and challenges of qualitative consideration in capital expenditure decision. There are many advantages of qualitative consideration in capital expenditure decision. First, qualitative consideration in capital investment analysis are very important in decision-making process. Understanding the qualitative factor that go into the decision-making process will help the management accountant to work out the thinking process and make better investment decision. Second, provide valuable data for use in the design of a product, including data about user need, behavior pattern, and use cases. Qualitative consideration may emphasize strategy for organization to improve the capital expenditure decision. Third, give benefit to organization to strike the good feature of financial performance. In this case, management accountant may measure the product quality and customer satisfaction as they believe that high performance in this area will flow through to improve the financial performance. Fourth, lead to increased employee morale. Some organizations or companies sometimes spend money on capital improvement because they want to improve better work environment for their employees. Okay, before this I have explained advantages of qualitative consideration. Now I will explain disadvantages of qualitative consideration in capital expenditure decision. First, it's hard to express as number or monetary term. Management accountant might analyze objective data such as how many customers buy the product again, how many make complaint, how many have warranty claim, and how many return the product. Second, company or organization only focus on qualitative consideration. They may have problem in making capital expenditure decision. For qualitative information such as interview, transcript, tag, and picture, they have to study the material to get insight about what it means. Third, company or organization will get a different outcome by using qualitative and quantitative. The result of qualitative analysis often are ambiguous but may contain additional information, while the quantitative results tend to be decisive. Okay, lastly, I will explain the challenges of qualitative consideration in capital expenditure decision. First, process for the management to identify, measure, and estimate the costs that are related to capital expenditure is complicated. This is because implementing qualitative data effectively is impossible, as qualitative data tend to be less statistical as compared to quantitative data. Second, company usually expect for a possible outcome in making a large expenditure on its capital asset. Unfortunately, such expectation on possible outcome is not confirmed and not occur as what has been predicted. This is due to incomplete analysis on qualitative consideration, which will affect the outcome decision. Third, costs which are related to capital expenditure will consume more time, especially for better decision outcome. This is because gathering a large amount of data will extremely time-consuming and high price. With that, thank you.